What's up, you guys? Welcome to Mahogany Sweets. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you want to. I'm coming back to you to talk to you guys about this Surviving Jaguar Wright expose 3-part series that Tashak did. Okay, this crap is comical. No, that girl didn't pick Surviving Jaguar Wright. That's number one. Number two, no, you didn't do these interviews looking just like Jaguar Wright. With that cut and everything, she looked just like her to me. Man, while you interviewing this woman's family, got it titled Surviving Jaguar Wright, looking just like Jaguar Wright. I think the pettiness was on level 100, the shade was on 1,000, the chess move was on 1,000,000. I have to give it to you, Tasha K. Bravo, bravo. It's comical. That part had me laughing. But anyway, let's get into this. So, we all know about Jaguar Wright doing a rant about the industry, exposing, getting talked about, doing the Storm Monroe thing, doing numbers. Tasha K hopping in, sent on a snipe job and all of that. And also, she seemed to get them numbers like, yeah, I'm going to jump on this. What I seem to think is somewhere at some point, this was a money move for all three of them. Yeah, I think so. And then I think at some point, Jaguar had to have done or been doing or had said or been saying something that made Storm Monroe wipe his hands, made him and Tasha K plan to play this from a different angle and come after her. And I'm going to tell you why I think that, because eventually we heard the recordings of phone calls that I think Tasha K released of Jaguar Wright and her discussing Storm Monroe, and Storm Monroe had changed his number because he no longer wanted Jaguar Wright to be able to contact him. So I think that somewhere Jaguar Wright overplayed her hand in whatever she was trying to do, or she just got outsmarted by Storm Monroe. They caught on to the gimmick, whatever, and it exploded. But let's get into this. They always playing this game. Jaguar Wright, when she did that interview with Tasha K trying to snipe her, she well played that, and she won that game. She won. Her chess move on that one was great. She won it. But now we're here, and Tasha K chess move, she just 1v wonder. You know what I'm saying? They won one now. During this interview, I want to give Tasha K kudos. She did a great job. She on her Diane Sawyer, her Oprah, Gayle King interview and shit. I love to see it. She doing a great job at it. Her road to success is going to be phenomenal. I'm here for that. But so let's get into the interview with the husband. First person, Tasha K interview concerning Jaguar Wright. We all seen the videos, lives, the rants of Jaguar Wright going off and trashing this husband. My first thoughts of him, very attractive guy, well put together, articulate, smart seems to be, it seems like a very wholesome guy, a good catch. I was looking like, okay, Jaguar, right, I see you. Because, that dude you with now ain't the best looking, seems like kind of like a bum, I don't know. But this dude, her first husband, I'm liking what I see. Good catch. But anyway, he gets into the story and he breaks down how them two met, how they dated, how they wed, and then the aftermath after it. What he explained to us was a groomer. Jaguar Wright groomed him. She wooed him, and then she flipped it on him. So what that tells me is Jaguar Wright, a classic symptom of an abused person, especially early in childhood. What they do is they learn to adapt, and they become the predator so that they no longer the prey. And she became the abuser. She took on the traits of an abuser. She probably observed it, picked it up, and worked it, skilled it, perfected it as she got older, growing up in that toxic environment. So the reason why I say that she's a groomer, wooed him and then flipped it on him, and became an abuser, is because he said that when he first met her, she had came into his store to buy something for a guy, left, came back, returned it, said, I just caught the guy I was buying this for cheating on me. Let me take you out. Okay, girl was kicking game to this guy. She was grooming him. She was lining him up. So that's what they told me. And then he said that she told him, like, hey, he told her, sure, like, I'm interested. And she told him, come to the studio. Ladies, what she did was just things that a man would do. She had lined him up. At some point, she had been in that store before, seen him, or at some point, she seen him then, and she thought, this is a guy I want to get to know. Instead of coming straight to him, talking about, I want you, what she did is I went and bought something, and I let him know this was for my guy, and my guy was called flipping. She was showing him, then I take care of my man. I appreciate my man. I will spoil you, my man. That's what she was doing. Oh, but he fucked up. You can have the opportunity now. That's what she was doing. And he bit that. She ain't nothing to joke with. Then she had him come to meet her at the studio. Oh, I'm about business. I'm about business and I'm doing my thing and I'm going to be something big. Impressing him. This is stuff, what she was doing was stuff that a guy do, an abuser does, or whatever. Then he said that they dated, was courting, fun, everything great on another up. She was wooing him. And then he said she went and got a place. He said this is the first, like real grown, some grown woman shit, taking charge. She becomes the man, the dominant. That's how she flips it. They move in together. This is how you know that she's a manipulator and savvy or whatever. She has him move in with her. Go get a place for them two to move in together. And then she tells them, we can't shack, we gotta get married. That's a dangerous bitch right there. I'm impressed by her skills, okay? So she goes and move in with him, then tell him, we ain't supposed to be shacking, you gotta marry me. Because if she came out and said, marry me, he would have said, nah. So she said, nah, I'm about to make this dude get a place on me, and then I'm going to tell him we shouldn't be shacking and need to get married. So anyway, he said he harped on her. I mean, she harped on him about getting married, so they went on ahead and got married, and then she turned, became abusive, became a cheater, and all of that. This is stuff that men do one-on-one. She has a lot of psychological damage and need a lot of healing and therapy to get over her traumas, feel that she can be safe with a man being in a position of power, and with loving a man and that man. She doesn't do that. She turned into a predator to never be the prey. She adopted the traits of her abusers, and now she is the abuser. But anyway, then we move on. We get to this girl cousin, and we get to her niece. The cousin tells us that Jaguar Wright tells the truth but then exaggerates it, or she'll tell the truth but then wrap these lies around it and stuff like that. I can see that from certain videos, rants and stuff that I've seen in her. Jaguar Wright have, yes, she has lied before, she has exaggerated before, but that don't mean that everything that she says is a lie just because she's lied before. We all know that the things she was telling about the industry and certain people in the industry, we know that it's true without a shadow of a doubt. So whether she was there personally to witness it or not, it's really neither here nor there. At that point, call everything she said as a gossip blogger. Same thing Tashak does. The same thing anybody does. You speculate, you observe, you take information that you've heard from others, and you put it out there of how you see it. So then say that she did that, and that's the same thing that you do. So if she's a liar because of that, then so are you then. Everything that everybody's saying is lies on YouTube if they talking about celebrities and it's something that they didn't personally see. So I don't really care two shits about that. But now, let's get into the family dynamic. The young lady, the cousin said that, the niece. The niece who is younger than Jaguar Wright said that Jaguar Wright is lying on her father. We know Jaguar Wright told us that her sister's husband raped her. And the girl is the child of that sister and husband, which is Jaguar Wright's niece. And she said that it's a lie. My father didn't rape her. My father said that he loves her. He don't know why she's doing this to him. And my father would never do that. My father is hardworking. He owns this and he gives to people and nice to people. He can't be a rapist. No. That's not how that works, sweetheart. I'm sorry to tell you. Actually, some of the people who are the wealthiest seem to be the nicest, or the biggest philanthropists, are the most egregious, real life, in person people. Okay. Since when do you think that just because a person is educated, well-to-do, don't mean that they ain't a rapist, a murderer, abuser? You have a lot of prominent men, pillars of their community, beating the hell out of their wives at home. That don't mean shit. So I don't know why she's under that impression, or think that we're supposed to be under the impression that just because your father hardworking and nice to people, that he ain't a rapist. No. But the other, and anything that little girl is saying is all from what you've heard from other people and been told. It's not it doesn't mean it's factual. Plus, what told me that Jaguar Wright ain't lying about that rape is the niece comes and tells us that she was 10 years old. Jaguar Wright was drunk and told her that the man raped her. That Jaguar Wright was 14, drunk, just her and his niece, and she told her that she raped her. Guess what, baby? People use alcohol and drugs and stuff like that as a coping mechanism. People who are violent, toxic in nature as a Jaguar Wright. It's a symptom of being abused. If she was drunk at 14, and the thing she chose to tell you, this ain't her trying to make a scene in front of the family at an event. This ain't her trying to be in an argument and strife and yell out something to piss somebody off or hurt somebody. This is her drunk in a vulnerable, honest state, confiding in you the truth. That told me right then, when the girl said she was drunk at 14 and told me that she raped her, that she was telling the truth. This was her being as pure, as honest, and as vulnerable and raw as possible. She confided in you. She felt you being younger than her and all of that, and this is who I can tell her this truth and it'll be heard. Simple as that. So that right there told me that that was the truth. But then we go on. We have the cousin. The cousin say Jaguar Wright is stealing her mom's money. She's stolen her $6,000 checks, and the mother, Jaguar Wright's mother, just gives them to her, lets her have them, even though it's causing her to be homeless, even though she can't pay her bills, even though she can't get her medicine. She's letting Jaguar Wright be verbally and mentally abusive to her, make scenes, cause hell, take her money, causing her to be poor and homeless. That was a red flag to me. And I'm going to tell you why. No adult, mother or not, is going to let their child wreak havoc in their lives and not cut them off, not be dumped them. No mother or father is going to let you just steal and take their money. Because technically, from what she's saying, it ain't even a matter of Jaguar Wright stealing it. It's basically as if Jaguar Wright coming to her mama, I need that money, give it to me. And the mother is giving it to her. And then going to other people in the family or whoever, either going without or going to others and saying, hey, I need you to help me out. Jaguar Wright got my money. She's not trying to put an end to it. She's not combating it. But you know what that tells me? Either the mother does have mental illness, as Jaguar Wright is saying, or the mother's guilty for something. And in her older age, she wants to atone for it. In her older age, she feels this is my karma and my debt I have to pay for what I've done to this child. That's what I got from it. Now, I don't think that the mother has mental issues at all. I think that it is, we think the mother's in a video that even Jaguar Wright put up and stuff. She seems lucid. She seems all there. What she seems is a mother who watch and know of horrible things that happen to their child, possibly even participated in doing or mistreating a child, and now in her older age, from the skeletons she's got buried, she's trying to pay her sin debt for it. Then I looked at the fact, the sister's present, refuses to get on camera. You got your niece, well, it would be Jaguar Wright's niece. You got your daughter sitting on camera to defend your husband. Jaguar Wright came after you and your husband. Why do you got your daughter, putting your daughter in this to be your mouthpiece and defend your husband? You know what that told me? Even though we heard this same woman, Jaguar Wright's sister, in the background mumbling, trying to talk. You got something to say, but you don't want to hop on camera and you don't want to say it to our face. That's another guilty party. That's what that told me. The two corporates, they don't want to be seen. They ain't got nothing to say. They letting themselves be dragged through the mud. Because there's more Jaguar Wright can say about them. They don't want to make atonement. They don't want to face themselves. They've already lied, hid, and accepted abuse for so long. But them chickens coming home to roost. That's what that tell me. The mother and the daughter, they hid the skeletons together. They created the lie and cover up together. So that mother letting Jaguar Wright wreak havoc in her life because she knows she deserves it. And that sister, oh, I don't want to poke the bear even though she dragging and poking my ass because I know I'm wrong. Because I know I have explaining to do. Because I know I might get caught up and slip up and more secrets might come out. That's what I seen. Nothing about that told me that what Jaguar said about that ain't true. Now, Jaguar Wright could possibly have mental issues in this genetic she inherited. And even if her mother or father didn't have it, doesn't mean it isn't on one of their bloodlines. Mental illness, birth defects, and physical hereditary illnesses can't skip a generation, can skip generations, could be only on the female part of the bloodline, only on the male part of the bloodline, and all of that. So it's very possible that one of their bloodlines have mental illness, and what's that girl, Jaguar Wright, got it. But it's also possible that Jaguar Wright's mental illnesses came from the trauma she suffered as a child. There is a such thing as a person getting induced trauma, mental illnesses, and break-ins of the minds. And I think personally that that's probably where Jaguar Wrights come from, is trauma-induced. When you normally see people like a Jaguar Wright, very angry, very bitter, very hateful, lash out, all of that, those are normally people who have suffered traumas as a childhood that never have been dealt with, fixed, who are still have triggers that they're suffering, and it shows up in drug abuse, drug addiction, promiscuity, violent, raging episodes, and stuff like that. But the people who her anger is most geared to are the people who are the assailants, or at least partially the assailants, her mother and her sister. That is my belief, and I'm sticking to it, standing by it. It was some other points I wanted to kick out about this interview. Oh, Tashak, she brought up Jaguar Wright saying that she was raped multiple times at these different ages, and the way that Tashak said it was in the sense of basically saying like it's unbelievable and a exaggeration due to the number and the ages. I'm here to tell you. First off, by the time a female child, the majority of a female child reaches the age of 6, they have been sexually assaulted in some way. And that's the first one. By the time they are 20, they would be and had other instances of that. I know not to speak too much into this because I know I myself, by the time I was 6, to 2 different people. So that you can't minimize abuse by thinking like, oh, that can't happen. Someone be sexually assaulted that many times in life. By the time I was 14, no, I had experienced quite a few different things. So that doesn't minimize it. I'm quite sure a lot of you, if you could say yourselves like, oh no, I've experienced some type of form of sexual abuse, harassment, assault over my period of life several times. So Natasha K, just shut up. But leave that alone. Leave that sexual abuse situation alone, okay? I do believe Jaguar Wright, the way that she acts in her manic episodes now would be the symptoms, the proof of the trauma happening. Now, Tasha K showed a video at the end of Jaguar Wright inside a hotel, talking crazy going off. First it showed her, not a hotel, a hospital. First it showed her talking about, and I had this miscarriage, and then she was like, if I'm pregnant and this results in a miscarriage, this, yada, yada. What I took that as is, oh wow, okay, you want to use this as sympathy and to get out of shit. Let me pull the I'm pregnant and having a miscarriage, so people will back up off me, right? And then I can also weaponize this against who she perceives as her attacker, and the public will go and attack that person on her behalf and make them get up off of her if she's pregnant, because we don't do that to pregnant women. If she's miscarrying, what are you saying? She tried to use that as a chess move to flip and get the heat up off her back. That's what I seen, because then she goes on this tirade against Storm Monroe like she's a crime boss mafia figure and talking about you got people that seem to. I mean, who talks like this at the hospital while they're possibly having a miscarriage and with nurses and doctors? I'm like, are you serious? And then it shows her getting to. She kept talking though. Why these people, nurses and doctors around? She still kept talking greasy and crazy. I'm like, that to me that ain't smart. I'm like, but yeah, she has some form of craziness going on too. And then she gets into the hospital room bed. She gets into the bed finally. And then she says, let's pray that this is a tumor and not a pregnancy. And she looking at the doctor like, and then she said, a lot of people don't believe that, I'll probably be in all this pain because I handle it well and don't. And I was like, oh my God, this girl at the hospital lying and I don't know if she went there to lie to us to say she was pregnant and miscarriaging, or she was already there and just said, I'm gonna upload this information. But then it looked like, okay, you're lying. You know that you aren't pregnant. You know you aren't miscarrying, but this is what you told these doctors to get into the hospital. And yeah, you know what? Just a mess. Just a mess. I said, this girl is a mess. First off, if you was there trying to lie to them that you think you're pregnant and you're having pains and all of this type of crap, why? You shouldn't have been on your phone. Like, girl, are you serious? You shouldn't have been on your phone. Why you ain't playing the part? If you trying to be this grand actor on... At least waited till they got you into the room and you was by yourself, and then you could have went on this little tirade and did all that bullshit. But nope, she didn't. And I know that doctor or nurse who was been there in there was listening to what you were saying and was like, okay, yeah, bitch, we just clocked you. You just wait right here. Let me go talk to this doctor real quick about you. But anyway, what else was talked about? Oh, she's lied on her son. Her son was also interviewed. He is touched. He could have mild autism. But no, it definitely is something going on with him. Very smart boy, but I could tell that something was wrong because he could not grasp what Tasha was asking him and telling him about what autism was. It was other questions that she was asking. He couldn't catch it, or what she was actually saying to him and how he was supposed to answer it. So yes, he definitely is touched with something, and it might be a mild case of autism. So Jaguar Wright wasn't lying when she said something's wrong with him. Now, could she be misdiagnosing? Could she be making it try and sound like it's more severe than what it is? Yes, but no, that boy is touched with something. That was evident. What else? Yeah. So that's it. Oh, and then they want to talk about a 14-year-old girl. They up there talking about Jaguar Wright. She went and sung at her sister and that husband's wedding. So how did he do anything? First off, that girl was 14 years old. I'm quite sure that she was asked, number one, by the family to sing at the wedding. I'm quite sure after she was possibly even begged to sing at the wedding, to just do it, even possibly by her mother, as well as that sister and other people. And I think that she probably obliged. A 14-year-old singing at her abuser's wedding is not the farthest thing in the world. And then talking about having your children around abusers. People do that every day. We're not about to act like this stuff ain't common. We're not about to act like you don't got children who are abused by relatives that they have to see every year at Thanksgiving and at Christmas and at granny house. That they don't have to still smile and hug them like ain't shit happened. And you know why stuff like that happen? Because the children are trained by their elders who they go tell to shut up, to forget about it, to let it go. Okay, boo-boo, that won't happen again. We won't leave you by yourself with that family member again. But you still got that child around that family member all the time. You've taught that child then to get over it, to shut up, to smile in the face of their abusers, to make nice. Because then what happens? They're the liar when they bring it up to the family. They're trying to start trouble when they want justice for it and enraged. Now they're a troublemaker. We're not going to play these stupid games here now. Come on. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Plenty of adults who left their child right with that person who their child told them, hey, they touched me. Plenty of adults who left their child with the person who abused them when they was younger. How about that? Let's get into those teas. Yeah. Mama, uncle molested her. And you seeing mama still make nice to him for the last 30 years. Mama still let you go into the back room to watch the game with her abuser. So let's not play these games. Like, get out of here with that. About her still being around that man after the fact. About her child. And then that's the other thing. Talking about, well, she let her child be around him. They two totally different genders. Jaguar Wright is a female. So if he molested her child, that her child is a male. So get out of here with that. Let's not do that. Now, should we be? Would it be smart not to? Yeah. But y'all don't know them family members y'all heard of in the family that done touch kids, but everybody just act like it ain't true. It didn't happen. They don't know for sure, but they know they heard. And you might have that one family member every once in a while who be like, yeah, my child ain't about to be around your ass. Hey, get back over here. But no, it happens. So that's just my thoughts about the surviving. I was about to say surviving R. Kelly. Surviving Jaguar Wright. Yes, Tasha K knew what the fuck she was doing with that. That girl's silly as hell. Tell me what you guys think about that 3-part series of Jaguar Wright's family members and ex-husband being interviewed. Tell me what you think about where we are now, about Tasha K interviewing skills and all of that. Give me your feedback.